The destruction from this mudslide is massive. I finally am able to get a good look now. I came up here to Crescent Avenue where that home got slammed into, and you can see the destruction behind me. Trees down, power lines down, lots of mud. But let's get to this video that I just shot. You can get a good idea. You're looking at the house that slid down a ways from Sausalito Boulevard, the 300 block of Sausalito Boulevard, all the way down to where we're standing now. I moved over here to Trenton Road, which meets up with River Road, which, as you know, is closed because of flooding. You can see on Trenton Road just how bad the flooding is. There's a man up there on his balcony. He waved to the camera. Yeah, he's basically stuck there. He's on an island, and his home is basically just surrounded by water. He said he has a canoe, which he's been able to use and kind of get out. We do know that the building is a total loss, but we just got moved. This is the latest situation here in the conditions. We just got moved about 20 feet back because the flames and the smoke have been hitting basically this power line right here, and they think that it could make this power line and the entire pole fall down. So if that's the case, that could injure everybody in this area. So that's why they had everyone be pushed back, even their own people, the media, everybody.
KRON 4's Sara Stinson is live with a look at the conditions in Guerneville right now. Sarah, it's getting worse or better?
Worse. It's creeping up on this road. The river's creeping up from several different directions, and it's completely flooded. River Road behind me. We are currently in Forestville. That's as close as we could get to Guerneville. As you can see, it's just completely flooded, and that's what they were afraid of. They did not want people driving in or out of Guerneville because of that flooding, and it is just continued to get worse and worse. Even though we haven't had a lot of rain, it just seems as though the river just keeps swelling. Now here at the crossroads of Marybelle and River Road, you can see just how flooded it is. There's a camper out there that when earlier about like 3-4 o'clock, it was on all four wheels doing just fine, and now it is completely flooded in.
You spoke with the teenager's mother, Sara. What did you hear?
Well, I spoke with the 18-year-old's mom and dad. They are devastated. I just confirmed the 18-year-old's name is Neftali Moy. He was 6'4", big guy, football player. He went to Hayward High School, and he was on spring break with his friends and decided to come to the beach for a day of fun and boogie boarding. A driver went through a stop sign, and this house is at a T intersection, went right through the stop sign, hitting this house on Farm Hill Boulevard in Redwood City. Now I'm here with the owner, Sam. Sam, you were just about to wake up as this happened?
Yeah, so my alarm had just woken me up, and then all of a sudden there was a big crash.
Oh, wow. And then so what happened next? You came outside? I am here at the home of Joseph D'Angelo. He lives in Citrus Heights, which is just outside of Sacramento. You can still see the crime tape up and the local sheriff's officials here on scene. We have U.S. Coast Guard out here who just extended their search at Rockaway Beach. They are trying everything they can to find this man. We just learned he's a 28-year-old man who is not from here. He was staying in town with a group of friends. I'm live here at SFO, where we've learned that the plane, it's a United flight. It was heading to Sydney, Australia, when they experienced some mechanical issues in the left engine. We have video of when the pilot safely landed back here at SFO. Take a look. Walking to work right now, actually, with Mayor London Breed. Check her out. She says these shoes are made for walking. Tell everybody we're live.
These shoes were made for walking. That's what we're doing today. We're walking to work day. Walk to work day.
And how do you feel walking with not only your fellow city leaders, but showing the city, you know what, get out there and have a good time. I will never drop this. Oh, I just want to relish in this moment a little bit. But more importantly, we're here with Oakland Unity High, the students. I'm standing at the seat that we've been showing you all morning, the seat that costs $24,500. Now, 30 minutes ago, we showed you the view from there. Okay. Gorgeous, of course, you have courtside. But now we want to show you the view from Section 110.
No.
110 is not the nosebleeds. Okay. Section 110 is just above courtside, but it's so far away that I literally have to put my glasses on to see my photographer, and I have to call him to talk to him. I have to call him and say, hey, do I look okay? Is it looking good? The most important thing right now is the people who survived the campfire. This was an explosive fire, and people only had minutes to get out, seconds to get out. They tried to get out as fast as they could. And to tell you a personal story, I'm here with Sara Tuck. We have two Saras here. Thank you for joining us, and her sweet puppy. Tell me just how chaotic it was getting out of there.
It was beyond real. We didn't even know what was going on. We were just looking at the TV because the hospital actually called us and said to leave because of my husband's circumstances, and that's how we were notified. Then we looked on the TV and it said all of Paradise to please evacuate. So within a matter of maybe 5 to 15 minutes, it was get out. And the street, it was just by luck that this one lady would let us go through, because everybody just started doubling up on the road or on the street, and then nobody could get through at all. And then people were starting to walk, and dogs and children just on the sides of us. You can feel the heat through the car, and that was by 9:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's how fast that fire just tore through there.
And you're here now at the evacuation center with your husband and your sweet pup. How are you feeling now?
I don't even know what to say to you. I know I explained to you that Bob has just been diagnosed with 4 different cancers. He was somewhat of a little medical phenomenon up there in Paradise, and we just completed 7 trips to Stanford to try and work on the first rectal cancer situation. And now what is left for us? When you have 4 different cancers, 1 is bad enough, but to lose everything at the same time, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You say you're in a bit of shock.
To be grateful we got out alive.
I'm here at the Butte County Fairgrounds in Gridley. This is one of several evacuation centers. I've witnessed reunions with people who have been looking for their loved ones for days, and I've also met people who are still looking for missing family.
We're so afraid, and we didn't know if he had a home left or anything.
Diane Pepito flew in from Colorado after days of not being able to find her brother. You could see the relief in her eyes when the two were reunited at this evacuation center.
We're just so happy. We're in tears.
Another couple, Chip and Flores, were just reunited too after losing each other in the evacuation.
We found each other. It was a miracle, but we got each other, and we're not getting separated.
Holding on tight to one another, the two just found out their homes didn't survive the campfire.
Everything's lost. Everything. Business we had built up, it's gone, and it's a little heartfelt, but we're grateful we're together. That's the only thing that counts.
While others like Sol Bechtold are still waiting for that sense of relief, he's been looking for his mother, who has been missing since Thursday.
It's been rough. It's been rough. We learned her house was destroyed the other day, so don't know what's happened to her. She's kind of homebound. She doesn't have a car. You know, need to find my mom. I'm not giving up hope. She's out there.
Evacuees tell me the best thing about this evacuation center is all the resources that are available here, including home insurance companies to provide different resources, as well as food, clothing, everything you might need in this time of need when you don't know for sure if your home is still standing. In Gridley, Sara Stinson, KRON 4 News. Police are looking for a missing 13-year-old girl. Her name is Sammy Anderson. Now take a look at your screen. We have a photo of her. She was last seen around 4 yesterday afternoon. She was wearing a black pullover sweater with blue jeans. Police say she does not have a phone with her. That's why they're urging you to call them if you see her or have any information about where she could be. New this morning, we now know the name of the Napa police officer who was on administrative leave following a deadly shooting. Christopher Seamus shot and killed 27-year-old David Molina Wednesday. Developing news we're also following. Teachers in the San Ramon Valley Unified School District voted to authorize a strike as their contract negotiations are entering the final stages. 98% of teachers voted to give their union the power to eventually call a strike if they don't reach a deal in the near future. The teachers want a larger pay raise than what's being offered. They also are looking for smaller classes and more school nurses. The family of a man who was shot and killed by Hayward police is demanding answers. Police say they were told 29-year-old Augustine Gonzalez had a knife in his hand. 13 shots were fired. They later learned the man was holding a razor blade. In the South Bay, police have arrested the man they say attacked a woman on the Stevens Creek Trail in Mountain View. We told you the story yesterday. 29-year-old Michael O'Donis was arrested. Happening now, multiple lanes are closed going northbound on Highway 101 after a car crashed into a power pole. That person is now behind bars. KRON 4's Sara joins us live from the scene. As that rain potentially hits the North Bay this afternoon, people are continuing to clean up the wreckage following massive flooding from the Russian River last week. KRON 4's Dan Kerman joins us live now with more on the recovery process happening in Guerneville. Good morning, Dan. Thank you, Dave. So it looks like weather is going to be good today for all those people participating for SantaCon. It's kicking off in San Francisco this morning. Thousands are expected in the city for the annual pub crawl. This morning, we're learning more about another assault investigation involving former 49ers player Reuben Foster. Now, according to a police report, he was put in handcuffs back in October. Here's KRON 4's Dan Thorne with a look at body cam video from the Santa Clara Police Department. Sunnyvale police believe this could be intentional because there was no evidence that the driver stopped or attempted to swerve out of the way. Instead, that person just plowed through two groups of people, kept going, and actually ended up crashing into a tree and that sign across the street here on El Camino Real.
It was a mess. There were people on the curb being treated by paramedics. We actually saw
Take a look at this map so you can get a good idea of the intersection where this happened at El Camino Real and Sunnyvale Avenue. 8 people injured, including a 13-year-old girl, all after being struck by that driver last night at 6:40. Police say a man driving a black 4-door sedan was driving westbound on El Camino Real and first struck a group of people waiting at the Sunnyvale Avenue crosswalk, then hit more people waiting on a sidewalk. In the investigation, police determined that the driver did not even attempt to stop, and that is why they arrested the person. At last check, that person is still in custody, but they have not said anything about the driver, if it's a man or a woman, their age, no information. A lot of people are wondering that at this time. We're also trying to get an update on the condition of the victims this morning. We have confirmed the FBI is assisting Sunnyvale police with this investigation. However, they're not opening their own investigation unless they find that the driver committed a federal crime. You know, if they do believe this could be intentional, what would be the motive? And also, was this person under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Still a lot of information we don't know. We do know that police right now are walking around to different businesses, seeing if they have any security footage so that it will help them tell the story of what happened, because this intersection has no surveillance cameras. So we're going to be continuing to follow this. We're hoping to hear about a press conference here in